In the middle of Western Europe, bordered by France, Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Italy, lies a small, unique country, Switzerland. Over half of it is taken up by the massif of the Alps, whose beauty attracts people from far and near, summer and winter.
To the north, the Swiss Alps yield to the hilly, lake-dotted Midlands. Most of the large centers of this 6 million strong nation are located in this region.
In the northwest, bordering on France, the Jura. A relatively low mountain range gives a very special flavor to the landscape. Two main factors have molded the character of Switzerland and its inhabitants.
The compact, mountainous terrain encouraged the formation of small communes and a tradition-bound mentality.
But the isolating effect of the mountains has always been counteracted by the country's location at the crossroads of major European trade routes, thus favoring contact with other countries and a cosmopolitan spirit. In the Middle Ages, the country consisted of numerous, mostly small political units. These tiny communes maintained varying degrees of dependent relations with emperors, kings, secular and ecclesiastical princes. Through persistent, skillful negotiations, the purchase of legal titles, and military campaigns, they gradually gained sovereignty. Treaties between alpine valleys and city-states in the Midlands were an important factor in this process. These treaties, but also conquests and the dictates of the European powers at the Congress of Vienna in 1815, established the boundaries of present-day Switzerland. The population is made up of 4 different language groups.
Lake Zurich, situated in the heart of the Swiss-German language region, was once a bustling waterway serving important trade routes. The small market town, conveniently located at the end of the lake, became a flourishing center of trade. Today, Zurich is one of the world's leading centers of finance. Despite its economic significance, Zurich, although Switzerland's largest city, has a population of under 400,000. The city's manageable size enhances its pleasant and cosmopolitan atmosphere.
For centuries, Bern was the center of an aristocratically governed city-state. The well-preserved Old Town bears witness to the city's history. Since the Confederation was founded in 1848, Bern has been the seat of the Federal Council or Swiss government.
Ich darf Ihnen hier mitteilen, dass die ersten Teile unseres Katastrophenhilfskorps bereits.
The 7 members of the council make all important decisions together. The ceremonial position of president is rotated every year.
Schwerst betroffen werden kann.
On cherchait, comme elles le font toujours en pareil cas et dans d'autres pays aussi. Et sur
Both
d'autres
houses of the Federal Assembly also conduct their business in Bern.
However, considerable autonomy is still invested in the 23 cantons. There are, for instance, 23 different school systems in Switzerland.
Switzerland maintains a militia army to safeguard its independence. In addition to armed neutrality, Swiss foreign policy seeks to foster solidarity with the community of nations.
The country's international ties are especially prominent in Geneva, situated at the southwestern tip of French-speaking Switzerland. The city is headquarters to over 100 international organizations.
The Red Cross, a worldwide organization today, was founded by Henri Dunant, who came from Geneva.
The meeting of the International Law Commission is resumed.
Geneva regularly hosts important international conferences.
Adopted just before coffee break, paragraph 9.
As in Zurich and Basel, the Geneva airport connects with destinations the world over. The Swiss national airline serves Geneva as well as all of the world's major airports.
Geneva's tradition as a city of international trade fairs and congresses goes back to the Middle Ages. In the 16th century, Protestant refugees from France gave impetus to the crafts of watch and jewelry making. Precious watches for international customers became the specialty of the watch industry in Geneva.
The production of precision timepieces also gained great economic significance in other areas of Western Switzerland. Like most branches of industry in Switzerland, the watch and jewelry trades are largely dependent on export and must be internationally competitive.
However, the accelerated development of technology has resulted in fewer job opportunities. Among those hardest hit are the people of the Jura valleys whose main industry is watchmaking.
Changing times also affected the farmers of the Jura Franche-Montagne, the traditional horse breeding area of Switzerland. Increasing motorization forced them to shift production to cattle and dairy farming. But enthusiasm for horses among young and old lives on, as shown by the popularity of the annual Marché Concours in Seigneur-Légier.
A sensitive chapter in recent Swiss politics was the emergence of the new canton of Jura, which split off from the canton of Bern. In a memorable public referendum in 1978, the people of Switzerland voted yes to the Jura Republic, the youngest of the now 23 cantons of the Confederation.
A promising industry for Jura is undoubtedly tourism. more and more city dwellers are discovering the recreational possibilities of this region.
To the south of the Alps, where the streams and rivers flow toward the Mediterranean, lies the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. The natural beauty of the landscape is breathtaking, but the soil is so poor that many have had to seek a livelihood elsewhere. Southern Switzerland, consisting of Ticino and a few valleys of the Grisons, has brought forth architects and sculptors of international renown. Everywhere there are traces of nearby Italy. Here at the Saturday market in Bellinzona.
The mild climate and beautiful lakes of southern Ticino, with its Mediterranean atmosphere, attract thousands of sun-starved tourists from the north. Ascona, Locarno, Lugano, and many other smaller resorts come to life in high season with colorful crowds of international visitors. Tourist attractions include numerous galleries, worthwhile art collections, and international events. The Film Festival in Locarno caters especially to little-known filmmakers and film nations from all 5 continents.
The Engadine and a few mountain valleys in the canton of Grisons is the home of the Rätoromanche, the smallest of Switzerland's 4 language groups. Although the Rätoromanche account for less than 1% of the population, the government liberally subsidizes efforts to preserve both their language and culture. Tourism is a welcome supplement to the income of the alpine population.
The marvelous scenery and the enterprising spirit of many Engadinians have turned the valley into an El Dorado for downhill and cross-country skiing, as well as for devotees of unusual sports, like horse racing and polo on snow, bobsledding, and skeleton. St. Moritz, one of the oldest and most renowned winter resorts in the world, offers a unique combination of recreational sports and sophisticated social life.
Glarus, a small mountain canton in the Swiss-German part of Switzerland, lies off the beaten tourist track and the main traffic arteries. For centuries, Hunger and poverty forced many to become mercenaries under foreign service or to emigrate. In the 18th century, the Glarnese applied themselves to the spinning and weaving of cotton, thus finally laying the foundation for a local economy.
By the 19th century, textile printing had become the most successful branch of the canton's rapidly expanding industry. Without the efficiency of the Glarnese merchants, who opened up a world market for their products, this boom would not have been possible.
The Glarnese, so dynamic in business and commerce, cling tenaciously to their centuries-old democratic system of direct participation known as the Landsgemeinde, where cantonal elections and referendums are held annually by a show of hands. Before the vote is taken, every elector has the right to state his case.
The people in the little village of Mittludi still cultivate the tradition of textile printing. Rich, high-fashion fabrics, a specialty of the Swiss textile industry, are printed here with exacting care. They are commissioned by the great houses of international renown in Zurich and St. Gallen, whose famous fabrics are regularly featured in the collections of the world's top designers.
Many of the dyes for Swiss textiles come from Basel, the hub of Switzerland's chemical and pharmaceutical industries. Salt reserves and the city's favorable location on the Rhine stimulated the growth of these industries in the Basel area.
The university, founded in 1460, was also instrumental in the rise of Basel's internationally active chemical concerns. The country's 10 institutes of higher learning are in the capitals of 8 cantons.
Vast quantities of raw materials arrive year-round at the river port of Basel. Industrial Switzerland cannot do without them, for it has virtually no natural resources of its own. Goods are also loaded here for export, above all the high-grade products of the mechanical engineering sector, for years the most important branch of Switzerland's industry. Giant turbines, diesel engines, electronic devices. Whatever the product, Swiss companies are constantly working to better their technology and to deliver top service. Only in this way can they survive, despite high wages and shipping costs, in the extremely competitive international market.
One of the strengths of Swiss industry, with its many small and medium-sized operations, is a good social partnership.
For over a century, railroad technology has been the mainstay of operations at the Swiss Locomotive and Machine Works in Winterthur. The concern has built the well over 1,000 engines and rail cars required by the Swiss Federal Railways and the numerous private lines to operate one of the densest rail networks in the world.
A fleet of yellow postal buses serves destinations not accessible by train, including sparsely populated areas. over 450 mountain railway lines carry tourists into the magnificent scenery of the Alps.
Skiing and a host of other activities attract so many visitors that most of the local people can largely make a living from the tourist trade.
Fine hotels and restaurants are to be found everywhere. In addition to French and Italian cuisine, most quality restaurants also serve regional specialties and Swiss wines. Several hotel schools reinforce the high standards of Swiss gastronomy and hotel management. But domestic agriculture also contributes to the pleasures of the palate. Gruyere and Emmentaler are only two of the many excellent cheeses produced in Switzerland. Milk chocolate is one of a rich variety of products manufactured by the Swiss food industry at home and abroad.
Economic ties abroad have fostered the growth of large banks and insurance companies in Switzerland. Due to their reliability and the country's unusually strong political and monetary stability, they enjoy widespread confidence.
Grüezi. Könnten wir echt ein Kursblatt haben?
Sie sind nicht mehr so interessant. Die 2 Jahre rendieren nur noch 5,6%.
The steep rise of employment in the financial sector has contributed to the fact that over half of Switzerland's labor force now works in the services industry.
Not only are political and economic relations cultivated worldwide, but cultural relations as well. There are, for instance, numerous international art events in all parts of the country. Devotees of 20th century art have found a Mecca in Basel, where art, one of the world's most important art fairs, is a great attraction.
Every summer, Montreux on Lake Geneva hosts Europe's largest music festival. The giant program presents the highlights of jazz, rock, and folk music with musicians from all over the world. Here, the Japanese Serra Trio.
Classical music lovers meet in Lucerne for the famous International Festival of Music.
With the decline of the agrarian population in Switzerland, the sources for Swiss folk art based on alpine farming have dwindled as well. Nevertheless, with a little effort, one can still find artisans and musicians whose creative output is marked by the influence of regional traditions.
Not only does traditional folk art flourish in the mountains, but also pioneering creations, such as Alberto Giacometti's impressive sculptures and pictures. Although Giacometti spent long years in Paris, he was drawn back time and again to his native Val Bregaglia, a South Alpine valley.
The sculptor Jean Tinguely radically repudiates conventional standards of beauty. The méta-mécanique, as he calls his moving machines, are a playful, humorous commentary on modern industrial society.
Heinz Spörli, choreographer and director of ballet, has skillfully blended tradition and artistic progress. In Basel, a city with a population of less than 200,000, he has succeeded in creating an internationally recognized dance center.
Floriana. Perli.
Thanks to their experimental spirit, the Mummenschanz have discovered new dimensions in the art of pantomime.
In keeping with the individualistic attitude of many Swiss, cultural life in Switzerland is enhanced by several small groups and personalities who dare to do the unconventional outside publicly funded art institutions.
Johannes Kobelt, for instance, left a symphony orchestra to found a quartet. His concerts regularly include compositions in 5 different styles. This versatility is a natural consequence of his complex cultural heritage.
A country of 4 languages at the crossroads of 3 great European cultures, Switzerland is naturally a place where diverse peoples, ideas, and traditions converge. Life in Switzerland is profoundly influenced by intensive contact with neighboring and distant countries.
Yet with all responsiveness to the international civilization of the industrial age, most Swiss have retained a strong sense of traditional values and institutions.